Hey, welcome everybody to our NTSA webinar, which is the ITSEC preview. And today we're going to talk about three special items and special events that we want everybody to be aware of. And also for your awareness too, there'll be another webinar next Wednesday that will also be another ITSEC preview by our conference chair and program chair, Ms. Jen Arnold and Mr. Elliot Miner. So again, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about the next big thing, the committee and the series of special events that will be part of that committee. We'll also talk about Iron Dev, as well as the Cyber Pavilion, and we'll follow up with some Q&A. So if you can please feel free to put questions in there into the Q&A as we go, and then we'll address the questions at the end. So with that, I'd like to introduce who we have here today for the webinar. So I'm Bob Kleinhample. I'm the Vice President for Immersive Technologies from SAIC, as well as the co-chair for the Next Big Thing Committee. We also have Colonel Chad Bates. He's a Cyber Operations Officer and also the lead of the Cyber Pavilion. He's from the Department of Strategic Wargaming at the Army War College. We have Dr. Bennett, who's also the co-chair with me on Next Big Thing. He's from ARFRL, and he's the team lead of the Grill. And finally, we have Mr. Brian Vogt. He is the lead of the Modeling and Simulation Technical Operations for the Air Force Modeling and Simulation Support Services contract for SAIC, as well as the co-chair of Iron Dev with Dr. Alethea Duhan. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this seminar. So I'd like to jump into this here with the next big thing. So Link and I are going to tee up here a little bit about what this committee is and why it's important to you and the like. We're super excited about what this is going to do for ITSEC and what it is doing for ITSEC. Is the committee was originally stood up to help our training, simulation, and education community to be able to embrace the future technologies that will influence the future generations of our conference. And so we have a near-term horizon, which is focused on a specific technology that the committee selected that we then, in this year, we put two special events to address that particular technology. And we call that our near-term horizon. And then we have the long-term horizon, which is about 3 to 5 years out. And it's a little bit more open, broader perspective, thought-provoking, and we have a special event that's focused on that to help the community understand what's coming in the pipeline. And so that's why we set this up to really allow NTSA and ITSEC to embrace what's coming, to help shape it and the like. And so the technology that we selected this year, which is XR, for the near term, may not be what we're addressing in the near term and in future years. And so look, and what's going to influence that is what the long-term horizon, as we shape it, as community has dialogue over it, something's going to bubble up out of that we discover that's we think is very valuable to go into a deeper dive and start to mature that with academia, industry, and government participants in ITSEC. So Wink, anything you want to add to the committee and what we are trying to do with it?
Yeah, from the government perspective, we're just like industry and academia. We have to figure out what we're going to do with our investments, grants, contracts, and the government work that we do. And having the partnership among that triad, I think, is really important. It gives the government folks an idea of the kind of things they should be pre-positioning as innovative technologies. That's what AFRL does. And also looking at what industry and academia are doing is places we can leverage on the military side, innovations that are happening today, and sort of pre-plan or pre-position ourselves for those in the future, both from a science and technology perspective, but also from a practical implementation perspective. So I think it's really great to have this next big thing as a forum for us to do that. Thank you. Awesome.
Hey, so, and one of the things we did this year, and we wanted it to be different in our special events and how we took those on. We have a new room called the Destination Lounge, which is it's going to seat about 250 people to attend it. It's modern, very modern. So it's trying to help embrace and create the vibe that we're looking for. And as well as we're trying new formats for how we present the information. And so, one of the new formats we're trying to we're calling it the talks, and we have 2 of those for the near term horizon. And really, to put that in perspective, think of TED Talks. So you're going to have speakers who are going to be standing on the stage, and not briefing charts. There may be some visual interest up there, but really they're going to tell their story through words and through their body language, and really try to engage the audience and provoke the audience with some thought and generate that kind of thought. So I'm really looking forward to what this kind of format will do, and to energize our community around this subject to discuss it. Wink, anything from you?
Yeah, thanks. I think the nice thing is, a lot of times a TED Talk comes out and it's very conversational, but it's really about someone setting the stage for a future vision, a future kind of way far out thing to do. And sometimes that's really, really scary for those of us in academia, industry, and the government who are trying to figure out what the next thing needs to be. And so one of the reasons I like the talks part is that we get to talk about not being afraid. There are people who are out in the real world who are trying to implement some of the innovations that we as a group are creating. And it's good to hear from them, right? To know what things they see as positives, what things they see as continuing challenges. That helps us sort of set the marks in the ground for where we need to go next. And so I'm actually really excited about this kind of change to a traditional TED Talks format, but taking advantage of that for getting stuff out that we're doing today that's a pathway to the future. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And I hope, and so this image was purposefully chosen for Next Big Thing. And so hopefully as a result of these special events that you're able to pick your path, your road that you want to take to get to the future for your respective organizations, and to what's important and the value you have to the customers you may support and the people you may serve. And so that's what we're ideally looking to do, is to inform you. And we're going to inform you from 2 different perspectives in the near term. The one perspective are the developers and the technical track. And so the first talks is focused on technical. And then our second talks is focused more visionary. So a little bit more of a organizational focus. How do you lead an organization? How do you drive your organization where it needs to go? What considerations should you take on? So with that, we're going to dive into a little bit here, the XR technical. So that event, the talks, XR Technical. So that event will be Wednesday, the 1st of December at 08:30. We'll be in the Destination Lounge, and Mr. John Cunningham is leading that particular event. You can see the great panel of people that we have brought in for this from all different perspectives of government and industry, and they're all thought leading. And how they're engaging our technical community, the technical things that they consider, and the type of development activities that they do that they find important. They're really going to try to let you know what are they doing, what's important to them to develop XR, extended reality. Sorry, I've been using that term XR, and I assumed you'll understand I should perhaps define that a little bit. So XR, again, is short for extended realities. It's basically a blanket umbrella term for virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality type technologies. And so, these are all going to, these people are going to talk about how they've used it, what are they doing, and what's important and what's been successful. So, Wink, anything you want to add?
No, thanks, Bob. I think that's really the value here, and it's one of the things. I think those of us on the phone might be just a tad biased, but we think it's one of the things that makes ITSEC such a great forum for doing this kind of thing, because it is a perfect crucible for bringing academia, industry, government folks, practitioners, technology developers, everybody together in one forum, and being able to have a frank and open discussion about really what we're trying to do without the proprietary fences around it, what we're trying to do, what we're thinking about for the future, and share that with a lot of folks so that everyone can pre-position their resources to help get there. And so ITSEC is a great forum for establishing where we are and where we need to go today. And then, in subsequent years of the next big thing, we'll be able to sort of show the evolution and revolution that happens in the technology, especially as it relates to XR and related technology. So it's a really exciting thing that I'm glad we're getting to do, and I hope that folks will like it. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Thanks. So and then so this is how we kick off Wednesday. Then we're going to take a little pause, and in between these two talks events, there's also going to be an Air Force gaming event that's going to occur up in the destination lounge. That's also maybe of interest to you all. So look for that on your schedules there as you're making your plans. But then later on that afternoon, we move into XR acceleration, and so we have a great panel of speakers for that. Actually, I shouldn't call it a panel because they're all going to be individually speaking. But that's also going to be on the 1st of December on Wednesday at 15:30. So this one's a little bit different on how we're going to do this. So pay attention here for this one here. It's going to start at 15:30. It's going to go for an hour and a half. We are going to take a pause to reset the room, and then we'll move into a networking social event. So there'll be beverages and some hors d'oeuvres for people to partake in. And that event will only be, you got to be present to be able to participate in that networking event. So make sure you show up for this XR Acceleration special event, because that's going to be your ticket to enter into the networking event. And by design, we're making it so this is where then your chance is to go up and meet our presenters that we have. And I think you're going to be pretty excited about who we brought on here to really engage you all. So special thanks to Red 6. We got the CEO from Red 6 to speak. That's Mr. Dan Robinson. And then we have Dr. Roper, who's on the board of Red 6. And I think you all recall him from his Air Force career prior to this. And so a very innovative person to speak. And then we have Mr. Mark Pettit from Unreal. And he's general manager for them. And we got Mr. Dave Rhodes from Unity, and he's the general manager for that particular organization. So you'll see there that we brought in some heavy hitters. Each of them have a unique perspective to how they see where XR is going, what's important, what should industry consider, what should government consider, and what should academia consider. As you need to adjust your organization and make plans and decide how you're going to take on and tackle and accelerate XR. We purposely picked acceleration because we want to, what we've been noticing here with XR is aspects of the technology is fairly mature. Granted, though it is constantly maturing every day. You may have a set of goggles that 5 months from now it's going to have greater resolution. It's going to be lighter. It's going to be smaller. It's going to be much more powerful, et cetera. You name it. They're going to get better. How we integrate will be different. And so the use cases that we're going to be able to solve with XR, it will be constantly changing and adapting. However, what we want to do is accelerate the adoption. It's there. It's ready today for the benefit of our warfighters, for the benefit of our employees. Take advantage of it today and also mature it. You'll learn of strategies that you can utilize in your organizations to employ to help kind of future-proof you to the evolving and constantly maturing technology and advancements that we have. So, anyways, Wink, anything you want to add?
No, thanks, Bob. I think it's really good. And I think that's one of the real exciting parts about that. I love the term acceleration because you'll hear from these visionaries that we actually have a good baseline to work from. In fact, I'm sitting here today in LA, and I just flew Red 6's latest instance of their augmented reality and live flying activities. It's really come a long way, and there are some significant challenges that Mr. Robinson will talk about related to the technology. And he'll put out some markers for industry, academia, and the government to go after to try and help advance and accelerate XR into practical solutions for the field. So it'll be these guys are perfect. It'll be a perfect pitch kind of session from them talking about where they are today and where they see the investment and the innovation needing to go to accelerate XR and the technologies that support it for the future. Thank you.
Awesome, Wink. So don't forget to mark your calendars for this particular event. And again, I must be present to attend the networking session. It's going to be awesome. And again, you have the opportunity to meet and face to face and have some nice conversations with our presenters and learn and figure out how what you need to implement in your organizations or may implement in your organizations. Okay, and then we move into Thursday. And Thursday at 08:30, we're changing up a little bit of the format. We're going to reset the stage to a little bit more of a modern panel kind of atmosphere. So you're not going to have the table in front of people and the like. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable and engaging and open. And so Charles Onstart's going to lead a panel discussion with some very innovative leaders in industry who are in government who are going to give their perspectives for some of these mega trends for innovation that they see into the future that impacts their organizations, that impact our community, that we should factor in. They're not going to prescribe anything to you all. They're going to provoke thought and hopefully get us all thinking as we start to massage and take a look at this as we start to pull these technologies into what's relevant for us today, and what do we need to take advantage of, what do we need to shape to really harness the power of some of these innovation trends that are coming upon us into the future. So you see there in the panel, we had Dr. Alethea Duhan from DHS. We also have Mr. Sanjay Sadar from SAIC. He's the digital transformation lead, IT modernization lead for SAIC. Again, we have Mr. Robinson again from Red 6, as well as General Holmes, also on his board of Red 6, that will be presenting on this panel. So again, they all have some unique perspectives that I'm really excited to hear what they are going to present to us. Wink.
Yeah, so in the Thursday morning launch here is really good for me. Again, I might be a little biased. I have two panels on Thursday. One talking about research foundations for augmented reality, virtual reality, extended reality. So it'll be a nice segue from the discussion that you're going to hear from these guys. And then I also have a session on digital twinning and digital engineering, which is an up and coming thing, and it's a perfect forum for modeling and simulation, really to play the key roles. And so I think Thursday is going to be a really nice day, a set of events. You might call it a buffet of technology and solution generation that I think everyone will really enjoy. And this morning session will set the stage for the day. So thank you.
Yeah. Hey, we got it. I feel sorry for the people trying to decide what they're going to want to attend here, because as you can see here, we got lots of great special events. Super excited to see them all, and I know you're not going to be able to get to them all, but for those that are in the XR, we got a lot here for you. So with that, I'm going to transition here to related to extended realities, and definitely it's a little bit more focused, and it's a continuation of a very cool special event that started 2 years ago, and it's an event called Iron Dev. So. Oh, wait, before I jump into Iron Dev, sorry about that. I also wanted to thank our sponsors that are making our special events happen for us. As you know, we got a special room. We got a social network event that's going on. And it takes a lot to try to do something different than what we've been doing and to truly make it engaging. So these sponsors are really helping.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm going to advance the slides. So Iron Dev, as Bob alluded to, this is our third year doing Iron Dev, and Iron Dev is a fantastic show. In 2019, was the first year that we did it, and it was a great success. Last year, with the virtual ITSEC, we did it all virtual, and we saw some incredibly creative solutions that come through, and I'm going to go through in the next slide and actually describe, what it is. Oh, here we go. So I apologize. So in general, Iron Dev is really a team competition where we like to see, junior developers and, the more junior to mid-level developers of Iron Dev, get involved in the competition. And so it's similar in nature to like a cooking show where we give them a challenge, and you can see the challenges that we gave them, here on November 3rd, and they're working on their solutions. And then we're going to give them a twist on Monday of ITSEC, and we're going to give them a secret ingredient, something for them to add to their solution to show off their creative skills, and make it more engaging. And so really the challenge is focused on accelerating innovative AR/VR solutions, which goes along with the ITSEC theme of innovating and accelerating training, adapting to an unexpected future. And so that's the overall theme, and you can see the challenges here. And these are just nudges that we're asking the teams to consider as to develop a solution. But ultimately, even if they don't see something that resonates with something that they want to show off and work on, we have that last challenge there, which is something we didn't think of that they believe will move the needle, enabling AR, VR, and MR. And so the judging, right? And so this is probably the most exciting part of ITSEC is the final show, and I'll highlight that. It's on Thursday morning at 10:30, and we have a fantastic panel of judges, that are coming from the most senior levels of the modeling simulation community. We have Gary Jones, who is the Associate Chief and Strategic Technology Office of the Chief Technology Officer for Cybersecurity Infrastructure and Security Agency. Mr. John Myers, SES, who's the Executive Director of Naval Air Warfare Center Training and Systems. Dr. David Stargell, the Technical Director for the Air Force Agency for Modeling and Simulation. Mr. Paul Thurkettle, Education and Training Technologies Manager from NATO Allied Command for Transformation. And from industry, Amy Peck, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Endeavor VR. And so we have got this, these senior level, judges from, the senior level of the M&S industry and the government locations. And it's a fantastic opportunity for these junior developers to showcase their skills on a solution and interact with these senior judges in front of a large audience at ITSEC. It's really a dynamic and incredibly energizing event. And so they're judging based on the technical execution and addressing those challenges, addressing the secret ingredient, and being bold and innovative. And the most important factor, of course, is putting their original thought, move the needle, do something that really hasn't been done before, or if it's been done before, do it in a new way that no one has seen. And so it's intended to be a very professionally developing and rewarding experience for everyone that participates, even as the audience as well. And so the competition timeline, as I mentioned, November 2nd, they received their they started developing their solutions. They got the challenges. They've been working on it. On Monday at 9 a.m. on the showroom floor or on the show floor, booth 781, the teams are going to receive the secret ingredient, and they'll work during that week to integrate their secret ingredient. We've removed a lot of the heavy lifting of developing the solution out of the week of ITSEC, so that even those participants are able to participate in all the things that ITSEC has to offer. And they're still working on integrating the secret ingredient. And then on Thursday morning is the final live show, right? And that's where they're going to demonstrate their solutions, interact with the judges through an engaging question and answer. And also during that is the People's Choice polling will be live during the show. And at the very end, judges will announce the best overall solution, based on their assessment, the most innovative solution or the most bold solution. And then, of course, is the People's Choice solution. And so that is the general timeline of it. It is a very exciting competition. And, these teams that we have, are really exciting, right? So we have a team from the Air Force Research Lab Grill, and also a team from 3D Media. This is their first year competing. The AFRL Grill has been awesome. They've competed. This is their third year competing, and they've always bring some really creative, powerful solutions to the competition. 3D Media, this is their first year that they're participating, as well as Integration Innovation Incorporated, I3. This is their first year competing, and the first time ever, we have a team from France that's going to be competing, Agenium, and they're going to bring, as they said, they're going to bring the European flair and European expertise to the competition. And so it's going to be exciting to see, these solutions come to life as we go. And we certainly are excited about having this on the final full day of ITSEC on Thursday morning. And I hope to see everyone there. Thank you.
Hey, Brian, that's awesome. What I find really cool about Iron Dev is that it's a special event for the developers, and I'm glad that we were able to do some special events that aren't just focused on, business developers and organizational leaders and the like. And so it's really focused on those who are creating the solutions that we all use and implement. So fantastic event. Thanks for your leadership on that, to you and Dr. Duhan for pulling this off, as well as your host.
Yes, and also, we have to really thank both Unity and Epic Unreal Game Engine for their undying support. And interestingly enough, right now through email, it looks like there might be a few more, companies who want to participate as sponsors, and that's still to come. But it looks like, even industry wants to be able to get their hardware shown off during the competition as well. So, thank you very much.
Awesome.
Hey, this is Wink. I just want to echo the thanks, Brian. You and the team are great. As the team lead for the grill, we're excited to be there, and the team is as well. So we're really looking forward to the competition, and like having the new guys in the European flair. That'll be fun. So yes. Thanks a lot for the hard work to get here. We really appreciate the opportunity. Over.
All right. Hey, very cool. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Wink. Hey, so now doing something new for this year. Lots new this year for our conference, and so we got Colonel Chad Bates, who's going to tell us about the Cyber Pavilion and what all they got going on with that. Very interesting, very exciting. So, Colonel Bates, over to you, sir.
Hey, thanks, Bob, and thanks everybody for participating today. So, I am so happy that we've been trying to do this for a couple of years, but all the difficulties we've had, that I'm so happy that NTSA is finally able to get everything together to get the Cyber Pavilion actually in live and on the conference floor this year. And I'm very happy to help coordinate it and bring it together for everybody, because I think it's just going to be a really very interesting and a very impactful type of a event that's going to happen here at ITSEC. So the main thing we want to do is, I say it's a cyber pavilion, but as this is an inaugural type of a meeting, but we're going to be talking about cyber, electromagnetic spectrum operations, and information warfare. We're going to bring the professionals together. We're going to collaborate on the needs and capabilities, and currently what's being done. I don't have to tell you exactly what the importance is in cyber and everything else as we especially move forward, but I think we're really going to be hitting at that foundational part. Is we're going to talk about joint all domain command and control, the multi-domain operations, but really the most important part that really takes all that together is the network. So how are we really looking at the network? What are the vulnerabilities in the network, and how can we better understand the network, train our populations on the network to move forward? So really the main three main things we want to get out of the Cyber Pavilion is to learn. Okay, we're gonna bring in some experts. We're gonna talk about what are the requirements, what's currently where we're going, and everything else from modeling station capabilities, everything I've been working on for many years, and bringing all these different organizations and individuals together to see what where we're going and exactly what's being done. So communicating those opportunities. What are the new requirements coming out? What's currently being developed in different services, but also in like SOCOM, of what they're moving forward with, and really talking about that mis and disinformation campaigns, and how do we prepare the force for it, and how we better understand what's going on in our own operational environments. And then I think more impactfully is really provide examples of such capabilities. There's a lot of people working on really great, awesome topics and projects that sometimes it's just within your organization to meet their organizational need, but also then we have the larger programs or records that we're also going to show at this conference. And I think one really neat thing is the Navy's helping put together is this King of the Hill event. So during the whole week of ITSEC, we're going to have teams along the eastern seaboard in the southern parts of the United States competing each other in high school teams and collegiate teams competing each other and get this King of the Hill event. It's like who can move into this critical infrastructure and who can keep in the critical infrastructure without being kicked out by another team. And so that's going to be broadcast. Where the leaderboard in the pavilion during the whole week, and then who's going to see who wins at the end. And this is going to be a multimedia event. So we got kiosks there. We have lots of different topics continuously changing and talking about. And then we'll also have some main events that are going to be on this main stage where we're going to talk about, that's where we bring the senior leaders and they'll talk about other topics that are important to this environment. So outlook, comments from leaders. So luckily, I got all the service principal cyber advisors from the Army, Navy, and Air Force. And the principal cyber advisors are really, they work directly for each one of their service secretaries. And so I'm bringing them down because each of them really just came about November of last year. And they have some congressional mandates. Is really one of the biggest congressional mandate that's relevant for us is how do we improve the culture of cybersecurity and cyber operations within the services. So exactly what it is talk about, learn, communicate, and provide them examples of what we're doing and how we're moving together. So then they have those conversations with senior leaders in each one of their services, and they have a better understanding of where we're going as a community. And providing those opportunities, bringing the PMs, PEOs, talking about their programs or records, but also the capability managers say, hey, these are new capabilities being developed. This is where we're going, and to provide those opportunities for everybody here to collaborate as we move forward. And it's just, as I said before, it's now, we're using Cyber Pavilion to, it's a buzzword that everybody likes, but we're talking about cyber electromagnetic spectrum and information warfare. So it'll be very interesting to see where we're going. What's the critical needs of the forces as we move forward, and then how we're going to tackle those problems. And then now bringing in industry and government solutions, great people that will bring what, as I said before, but they'll show what they're doing. Especially our sponsors that are supporting NTSA and putting this together. They have some great products also. And so, it's so I'm not, we're moving forward. And I think this is a great pavilion and event to help communicate that to the larger community, exactly where we're going and moving towards it forward. So those notable attendees, as I talked about before, great things of moving forward and senior leaders. One, to see what we're doing as a community in cyber and all that, but also so they understand of what they communicate to the rest of us, of exactly where's the services going and where we need assistance. So here's just a quick schedule of the major events that's going on. The big thing there is, I talked about before, is on Wednesday, 1 December at 10, we're going to have that Outlook panel there in the pavilion with the service principal cyber advisors. And then the rest of the day is, showing them around what each, different organizations, but also different requirements, so they have a better understanding what's going on. But, everything in there we're talking about, we've got the Army Cyber Institute at West Point coming down, showing, demonstrating what they have, capabilities development, what's being offered, even an information warfare panel. We have some really good projects that are being done by SOCOM on information warfare and really replicating social media and having a better understanding of what those complexities are. And also then that each day we move forward, we're still going to be providing those opportunities. But as I said, these are stuffs on the main event, the main stage. There's going to be a whole bunch of different things at the kiosks that we have of different organizations presenting what they're working on. So that's going to be in, just stay updated on the ITSEC app and everything else being published, because that's going to be ongoing. Stop by it, because it's on the way to lunch. It's on the way to the dining facility, so you can easily stop by, see what's going on, look at what's going on, so you can find out areas that you are very interested in, and then you can put that in your schedule. Also going to everything else that Bob and Brian were talking about, because there's so many great events that's going on at ITSEC that year, that I think the hardest part is how are you going to allocate your time so you can go to all those great things. So that's all I have. I'm very happy to be here. So I think we can move forward and open up this Q&A.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Colonel Bates. Great information. Really looking forward to this. ITSEC embracing cyber, as you know, it's in everything. It's all of our solutions, all of our capabilities need to have baked in aspects of cyber into them. So very important subject. All right. So we'll go ahead and move into questions here for the group. And so we had a couple pre-submitted questions. So while you're typing your questions into the Q&A, let me address a couple of these. And so let's see here. And so here's one here where will ITSEC add a cyber subcommittee? I'll take a stab at that. They're always evaluating what the subcommittees need to be. We have cyber's definitely in the committees. Do we need to evolve and create a separate subcommittee for cyber to take it on? I will take that forward to the conference leadership, and so that they can address that and give that consideration for that. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, there's another pre-submit question. When will the NOC TSD 2022 compendium be available? I honestly don't know the answer. I don't know if I have somebody from NTSA or if anybody can answer that, but we'll take that one on and close the loop with you. We'll get to the NOC TSD leadership and get that information out. And next question was, are there special events available for the virtual participants as well? So this year, that's a great question. This year we're live. It's all live and it's not virtual. So got to come to the conference to partake in all the great things that we are doing there at the conference. So looking forward to seeing you all there live. It's overdue and super excited to do this face-to-face engagement. All right. Okay. Got a question here. Any thoughts on haptics combined with XR? Absolutely. In fact, I think you'll hear some of our people talk about haptics in there, particularly in the technical, and both its importance and how they've employed it. So, of course, it's very important to have that real actual touch in our systems, so that it's, and add that realism to it. So again, bring that up, participate in the event, and that's where we're going to have that dialogue on that, and be sure to raise that question there also with our presenters. Anything else? Anybody else have any questions for us?
Hey, Bob.
You're good,
go ahead.
Chad.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I mean, sorry.
I just wanted to say it's a great forum for asking those kind of questions, whether it's just curiosity or whether you have some technical things you're trying to work out. I mean, the right kind of people will be in any one of the sessions that we have going on, and so it's a great opportunity for you to ask those questions, open the dialogue. It's the perfect forum and venue, so we're looking forward to the great discussions we'll have. Thank you.
Hey. Also, I think our subject matter experts for virtual participants, I think there's NTSA will be putting out anything on recorded events, and I think we'll be live streaming certain events on YouTube. But you have to go. The NTSA will put out more details on that one moving forward. Since I love it, multimedia, many different venues. So get their communication out and as many different venues as possible.
That's great. Thanks for that. That's good info. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything else pop in here in the questions, and so I want to thank everybody for their time with us today. I am certainly looking forward to seeing you all at ITSEC, particularly in these special events. I know you got a tough task to try to figure out which of these you're going to attend. So. But have fun picking and choosing, and I know there's going to be something for all of you all that participated in this call today to go and be part of our discussion, be part of how we reach out and how we engage, and be part of the solutions for how we better deliver technology for the benefits for the warfighters, our employees, etc. So, Admiral Rob, over to you, sir.
Hey, thanks, Bob. I appreciate it, and the group, and I really appreciate all the effort that's gone into, especially the new events. Everything we try, is a pilot, and then you never know how it's going to work out. And sometimes it's really great. So I just want to reiterate a couple things. One is we are going to live stream the opening ceremony and one other event, the senior leader panel. We're very excited. We've got the CNO and the commandant coming down, and so that is we're gonna do a fireside chat with them on Tuesday, and that should be really exciting. And we've got another keynote. So everything's shaping up really well. On the COVID business, and I know there's sensitivity out there on the COVID. All the numbers in Orlando have really cratered, and it's similar to the UK. What we saw in the UK with the Delta variant is a very high spike, and then it went down very quickly. So we track these numbers almost daily, and we meet weekly with the government folks, and they are all in an agreement that they went to Health Protection Bravo last week, and the numbers continue to go down to where there's no question that they will be able to participate at this point. So we've got a full, I've got 95 folks on a distinguished visitor list that are all planning to be there. And the program is just jam-packed full of 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, and then the flag general officer panels are all full, and we even have a couple of retired 4 stars coming, General Admiral Richardson, and so there's no reason not to go. So and we're kind of on purpose here, saying that we need to get back in person, and so we're going to have some very limited recordings, but it's not a virtual show, and we just need you all to come. So we got word a couple of days ago that the Canadians are going to come back, and they had actually said they weren't going to go, and now they are coming. So the international participation should pick up, given that we had a release of international travel to the United States on the 8th of November. So I anticipate that we're going to have a really great turnout. So I encourage everyone to think through their plans, reconsider if they're scared, come down and join the rest of us who are. We're going to have a great time. So it's time to get the community back together. So with this, we are going to have one more ITSEC related webinar next week with the ITSEC leadership, and it'll cover some of the changes as well, some of the big pieces, and it'll be a high level. And then there won't be a webinar in December. So thanks to all that. But I appreciate everybody attending today, and I appreciate what you all have done, Bob, and we'll give you the rest of your day back. So thanks to that. Bye-bye.